No fears. Oh, I don't have any fears. I'm not human or anything. I only have one emotion and feeling. Welcome to the Big Dane podcast. I'm your host, Dana Trimborn, and this podcast is a random hodgepodge of topics that gets released on every Tuesday on, your preferred platform, of course. And I really enjoy sharing my personal stories and making those connections with you guys and just really being relatable, all in a fun and silly environment. Hey friends, do you ever think about your fears? We seem to always talk about success, but not so much our fears. If I got you thinking a bit deeper, stick around to this episode and I'll share some of my fears with you because you're not alone. You are not alone. We're all in this together. Because we're human. We do similar things, right? But it seems as though there's a constant battle of people asking you, well, how are you going to be successful and support yourself? And when I think about that, I kind of go back to even high school of when something like this kind of starts, right? Because you're in high school, maybe it's your junior year or whatever, and you're trying to figure out now, what the hell am I going to do for the rest of my life? And go to college. But wait a second, I have to pick a major that I'm interested in and I want to study. And like that whole process is just wild because you're so young and now you have to make this like life-changing decision. And then you hope you actually like it. Okay, now you're at college. You have this wonderful major that you're doing, you're taking your classes. And yeah, and you continue your college experience with it. Now, maybe some of you, maybe change their major. That happens. That's okay. You change your mind. But now it's graduation. A lot of people are graduating, right? And now you really hope that you're actually getting a job in your degree. You spent all this money, all this time, this hard work, all the partying, and it's just wild because I think one of the first jobs out of college is pretty key because that kind of sets the stage for how you're gonna get all these other connections and whatnot. But I mean, how crazy is that though? Like it starts back when you're a teenager that you have to select something that's truly gonna affect the rest of your life. Okay, that sounds great. That is so great, guys. Well, newsflash, because once you get in a career, it changes all the time. So I went for international business and focused in marketing management. So marketing, that is one small component of the many things you can do with marketing. Okay. So yes, that's going to change. That's okay. But for the younger folks, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine and work out. Now, obviously, if you totally did like a 180 with your major and you went from business to, hey, you know what? I think I want to be a doctor, that now you better make sure you are becoming a physician or, whatever kind of doctor that you want to be, because then why did you change it in the first place? Right? So that's the only caveat there. But yeah, I mean, that's when it starts with, well, how are you gonna really set yourself up for success? And well, you need a good job. Well, how do you get a good job? And well, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, right? So many things going on. But so now you get a job. Okay. Wow, got my first job out of college. This is great. I can actually start making money and not have to rely on cleaning the house for my parents and making some extra cash to pay my student loan. But the question comes up yet again about being successful and are you even at the right job to get you where you want to be? Because now you got to start thinking long term. We're out of the near future now. Okay, the near future was getting the job. Now we got to start thinking about what the hell I'm gonna do in the next 3 years. I mean, so much changes in that amount of time, and it's a short amount of time, but shit happens. Okay, shit happens. But yeah, people continue to say how you're going to succeed, your friends, family, cousins, uncles, whomever, and it's blah, 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 blah. Okay. It's kind of like that blah kind of sound from Charlie Brown, and in the classroom the teacher's like blah, 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 blah. That's what's going on here. But I'm saying stop it. I think we need to pause and kind of take a break and take a step back, because people are getting so concerned and so caught up and focused on this success that no one is asking you or even mentions about any fears that you have. No fears. Oh, I don't have any fears. I'm not human or anything. I only have one emotion and feeling. But maybe, what question does come up? Well, if you're afraid, how are you going to succeed? Oh my God, I'm going to walk out the door. If I hear succeed one more time, holy cow. Do you think someone is saying to you or ever says to you in conversation, well, here are the steps of fear. Number 1, failure. Number 2, failure to commit. Number 3, no. No one is saying this. I cannot even tell you a single person. I mean, because why? I mean, it just doesn't happen. But why? Why is the question here? Why aren't we asking these questions and voicing this at all? Because these are concerns, aren't they? They very well are. I mean, there could even be a fear, just coming out of college and graduating. Right? So much. I mean, there's a fear that goes in it oh, dang. We just graduated. Now what? How the hell am I going to get a job? Oh, you want experience? Oh, I have college experience. Cool. I have experience doing 10 keg stands. Does that work? Yeah, I don't think so. But this is kind of a fear of what could potentially happen in someone's mind, because now, while they want a job and to move forward with their life, there's still a sense of fear going on. Okay, and I'll get into it more in a little bit, but do you think it has to do with our culture? I think it does. How it defines us and the connotation of feeling afraid is weak, negative, pessimistic. Could be for some people. Wow. Guys, these are called emotions. Yeah. Emotions and feelings that we all encounter. Because last time I checked, we are human. We're allowed to have all kinds of feelings for any reason. And frankly, I think for some people, it's hard to express that. Depends. Well, how did you grow up? Did you grow up in a family where, it was okay and you felt comfortable bringing this up, or like whatever you were afraid of, or even emotions in general, okay? Or was it more like, suck it up because you have a long life ahead of you, so you better learn now, so hold back your tears? And okay, yeah, I mean, that happened. I will say, growing up for me, I feel like we didn't really express a lot of emotion at like the dinner table. I don't know. It just wasn't there. But of course, as I've gotten older, I have expressed things with my parents. But yeah, I mean, people grow up all different ways. So yeah, maybe some of you are, you don't want to deal with it, right? Or it's too much energy to put out there and they won't understand. Well, you won't know if you don't try. But I think too, with our culture, it's all about success. Oh my gosh, entrepreneur. Oh, I work for this big corporate company. They're so successful. It's about finding your dream job because this is America, bitches. Yeah. Wait a second. What? What are you saying? Let's like rewind a little bit here. Okay. But I think we should be talking about all of this, about why we're afraid with certain things, and especially because it's not just me feeling like this. My next door neighbor, the neighbor behind me, other friends, new people that I've met, like the list goes on, folks. Yeah, 100%. And again, so maybe you aren't comfortable about talking about something, or you'd rather just maybe tell a close friend, or like in what some of your fears are. But yeah, I think if you tell one person and just start to put some of it out on the table, then I would think maybe you feel good enough to start expressing those same emotions and fears with other people. And so now you're kind of exchanging stories and understanding each other, because maybe you didn't think of something a certain way, but this other person does. And so now you have a different viewpoint, which I always like to hear. Now, sometimes I don't want to hear it. I'm stubborn. Okay, but it's always nice to get a second opinion on something, and what their thoughts on it are, if they this person or family member, they care about you. They want to understand how you're feeling. Okay. So bring it up. What do you got to lose? If you have a big loss, then call me up. We have a spare bedroom. Okay. But some of these, so for me with fear, I think a couple of different things: work, socially, family. Those are some of the things that I think about. Okay. So just as I was saying about, getting a job, whether it's you're just coming out of college or you're just trying to change your career a bit and get a new job, right? Those are all fears. Maybe you're feeling like, well, how? I'm not going to get a job right away. That happened to me. That happened to me. And I thought, shit, how am I going to start paying these student loans? Right? Because you don't want to keep pushing it off, because then the interest, it just keeps going up, and then it's not good. But those kind of things, maybe you're in a shitty position right now, you just want to get out, but you can't leave your job because then you're not collecting anything. Okay, so yeah, and if you're in a position where maybe you're living on your own, or even if you're living with a significant other or spouse, and when you crunch the numbers, you need both of you working, yeah, that's not a good feeling. That is not a good feeling. I think also, too, maybe you're starting a new job or a different position in the same company, and just the fear of failing. Yeah, because now you have to learn new skill sets. Now you have to become this leader, and that sounds a little scary, doesn't it? And I think even just failing at, it could even be maybe not being a good friend, maybe not being there for someone, right? All different kinds of failure. Yeah, and socially, and this is a huge one, so wait for it. Dun, da, da, da. FOMO, fear of missing out. I think this is a real thing. I think this is real because especially on social media, this does not help people. No. People are scrolling for days. Now you're on, this person that you went to high school with. Now you found their cousin. Now you're on their Instagram. Then you keep diving in, and now you're on their cousin's cat's Instagram. Oh, gosh. But truly, I mean, people, if you don't have a lot going on for yourself, I could totally see how it could be depressing and create anxiety, because you see everyone else doing all these fun things. Or honestly, it could even be as simple as shit, I already made these plans, and you'd rather be with maybe this other group of friends at happy hour, but you can't make the happy hour because you're trying to catch up with someone else, or maybe a coworker. It could be even something you're not able to go on a trip with friends. A lot of friends getting married and having, a bachelor or bachelorette trip. They're pretty big. Again, America, because we go a little nutso with trying to do a bachelorette and flying here, flying there. Next thing you know, it's $1,000 that's racking up between your flights, transportation to the airport, you gotta check in your bag, all the food, alcohol, so much. So yeah, sometimes you're not able to go because you don't have enough financially to do that. It happens, and that's okay. But again, I can totally see how socially it's this fear that, wow, I'm gonna miss all this amazing, like crazy times. This is like a once in a lifetime thing. Wow. It's not once in a lifetime because your other friends will get married, right? Just keep making friends. um, but yeah. How about like, I don't know, dating, right? Rejection, the fear of getting rejected by someone, especially after so many times. Maybe you're putting yourself out there, but you just haven't landed or, on the right person. So it's like this constant, like, not again. Not again. And it just goes on. So the fear of also going on another date and expecting another bad date, or maybe they're not feeling it but you felt it, so now you're shit out of luck. Yeah. Another thing too that comes to mind is moving, because Matt and I, we've been thinking about moving to San Diego, but not for like another few years. So don't worry, guys, still be around. But just like a little part of me is going to have a little sense of fear that I'm going to be missing like all these fun things happening here in Conchi, Philly, wherever, and just basically everything locally, because now, wow, I can only see these people like once, twice a year or something. Yeah. Because when you think about it, the only other time that, my friends and I, we were away all at the same time, college. Yeah. So everyone lives here now. So, as in like the same state, basically. Because not everyone lives in Kanchi. And then I also thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss softball. But maybe they won't continue to do it anymore because then they can't find the second baseman or second base woman. But honestly, in reality, I'm thinking, it's going to be great. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be fun. I'm going to meet new people, new friends, and be in this new city. So, but yeah, it's just like 2% of me is like, oh no, like all these things happening here and I won't be a part of, and I only hear about it or see it. And for that reason, I will shut down my Instagram. Psych, I won't. But also, a larger thought I have too in the back of my mind, and just in general, it doesn't have to even do with like moving, but just like my family. It's like getting older, just as far as, myself being adult, early 30s, and parents, that means they're getting older too. And, they're in very good health, good shape, okay? But I sometimes have this fear that, like, my dad, I don't know, won't be there to see me get married, and yeah, he's an older dad, but you don't know. You don't know what could happen, okay? But that's just something I always have in the back of my mind, because who knows? Who knows what could happen today, tomorrow, next week, next month? You just don't want to take it for granted. So it's definitely a scary thought to have, especially to not have your parents around anymore when you're an adult, because it's like, wow, like you're just getting started. You finally like feeling good in your career and all these great things are happening, and you want to share more of these moments with your parents and your family overall and share stories. And I feel like I need to hear even more stories from my parents, and so that's just something that is just scary to think about. So, and if I keep talking about it, I'm gonna tear up. So, I'm trying to keep it rolling here. But curious to what some of your fears are. Is it work related? Is it friends, family? Maybe you want to start something of your own and you're just kind of pausing and hesitant to really kick it off because you think you might fail. It's okay. It's okay to be scared. It's okay. But talk about it. You have to talk about it with your friends. See what are they feeling. Maybe you can relate. Or maybe it's family. Maybe your parents don't even live here. So you're probably thinking, Big Dane, dude, your parents live here. You get to see them all the time and I don't. Yeah. So that's another scary thing because then you don't get to see your parents that often, which is not cool. Now, when you went off to college, you'd be like, all right, I'll see you in 4 years. Peace. Now it's totally different. It is totally different. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this episode, my friends. Go to the BigDanePodcast.com/podcast. And if you really liked it, kindly leave a review. Just tap on that right review and leave it right there. And you can give me a little shout. So just stay on the website, head over to the contact section and send me a little message. Okay. And be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And I'll have all the latest updates for you. All right. And happy June, my friends. Hope you have a great rest of the week. All right. Peace out.